Have you ever noticed this? Why is it that you can keep a promise to your boss, to your friend, to a deadline, but the promises you make to yourself are the easiest to break? Why do you say, tomorrow I'll start, and tomorrow never really comes? And here's the real question. Why does breaking promises to yourself hurt more than disappointing anyone else? If you've ever felt that quiet guilt, that silent disappointment, this video is for you. Stay with me. Let me talk to you, not at you. Because if you're watching this, you're probably not lazy. You're probably not stupid. And you're definitely not incapable. You're someone who wants to change. Someone who has goals. Someone who has told themselves, this time I'll do it differently. And yet, you keep breaking promises to yourself. You promise to wake up early. You don't. You promise to stop wasting time. You don't. You promise to work on that one thing that could change your life, and somehow you avoid it again. So let's stop blaming. Let's understand what's actually happening. Part 1. The real reason you break promises. Here's the truth most people don't tell you. You don't break promises to yourself because you don't care. You break them because you don't feel immediate consequences. When you break a promise to someone else, there's a reaction. They get upset. They question you. You feel embarrassed. But when you break a promise to yourself, nothing happens. No one calls you out. No one confronts you. Life goes on. Except something does happen, just quietly. You lose trust in yourself, and that's dangerous. Part 2. Self-trust is built or destroyed daily. Every promise you keep to yourself, no matter how small, is a deposit in your self-trust. And every promise you break is a withdrawal. The problem is, most people keep withdrawing and never depositing. So over time, you stop believing yourself. You say, I'll start tomorrow, and a part of your brain says, no, you won't. Not because you're negative, but because history has proven it. This is why motivation feels fake. This is why confidence feels forced. Because deep down, you don't trust your own words anymore. Part 3. You make unrealistic promises. Let's be honest. Most promises you make to yourself are emotional promises, not practical ones. You promise things like, I'll completely change my life. I'll never procrastinate again. I'll stay consistent every day. But you don't change systems. You don't change environment. You don't change habits. You expect a different outcome with the same setup. That's not discipline, that's hope. And hope without structure always collapses. Part 4. Comfort is always louder than long-term goals. Another hard truth. In the moment, comfort speaks louder than your future. Your future doesn't scream, it whispers. But comfort? Comfort is loud. Comfort is convincing. Comfort says, just today, just one more scroll, just rest, you deserve it. And you listen, not because you're weak, but because your brain is designed to choose short-term relief over long-term reward. Understanding this matters because once you stop seeing it as a moral failure, you can actually fix it. Part 5. You identify with your intentions, not your actions. Here's something subtle but powerful. You feel good when you plan. You feel productive when you think. You feel accomplished when you imagine. So your brain rewards intention almost like action. You tell yourself, I'm the kind of person who wants to improve. And that identity feels enough. But growth doesn't come from who you want to be. It comes from what you repeatedly do. And when identity is built on intention alone, action becomes optional. Part 6. Why this hurts more over time. Breaking promises to yourself doesn't hurt immediately. It hurts slowly. It shows up as second-guessing yourself, overthinking simple decisions, needing external validation, waiting for motivation that never stays. You stop trusting your ability to follow through, so you dream less. You aim lower. You stop committing fully because you're scared you'll disappoint yourself again. This is how potential gets wasted. Quietly, politely, without drama. Part 7. How to stop breaking promises to yourself. Now let's talk solutions, real ones. First, stop making big promises. Make promises so small they feel almost stupid. Not, I'll work out every day, but I'll put on my shoes. Not, I'll focus for 2 hours, but I'll work for 5 minutes. Because consistency builds identity, intensity breaks it. Second, tie promises to action, not mood. Say, at 7 p.m., I open my laptop. Not, when I feel motivated, I'll work. Motivation is unreliable. Systems are not. Third, keep promises private. The more you announce, the more pressure you create. And pressure without preparation leads to avoidance. Build quietly. Let results speak later. Part 8. Rebuilding self-trust. Here's the most important part. You don't rebuild self-trust by doing something massive. You rebuild it by keeping small promises when no one is watching. When you do the thing you said you'd do, even when it doesn't matter, even when no one knows, something changes. Your brain learns, I can trust myself. And once that belief returns, everything else becomes easier. Discipline, confidence, clarity. They're not traits, they're side effects of self-trust. Let me leave you with this. The relationship you have with yourself is built on promises. Every time you say, I'll do it, you're either strengthening that relationship or damaging it. So the next time you make a promise to yourself, pause. Ask, can I actually keep this? If I keep this, will I respect myself more? Start there. Because when you stop lying to yourself, even in small ways, your life starts listening. And if this video made you feel understood, you're not alone. You're just becoming aware. And awareness is always the first step to change.